Okay, be honest with me. How many times have you sat there staring at a geography exam paper, your mind goes blank, you start to panic, and you just write down whatever pops into your head? Well, today we're going to put an end to that for good. You know that feeling, right? The clock's ticking away, the pressure is just immense, and you just start throwing everything you know onto the page, kind of hoping that something, anything, will stick. Yep, there's a name for that. I call it freestyling. And let me tell you, it is the #1 reason your grades are stuck. So in this explainer, I'm going to give you the exact blueprint to crush the 2 biggest questions on your paper, the 6-marker and the 9-marker. But you really need to listen closely here, because this is absolutely crucial. The biggest mistake you're probably making is treating them both the same. They are completely different animals, and they need completely different strategies to attack them. Okay, so let's dive into this. And to do that, I want you to remember a simple analogy, the sprint versus the marathon. I want you to think of it like this. The 6-marker, that's a 100-meter sprint. You get in, you hit your points as hard and as fast as you possibly can, and then you get out. No messing around. The 9-marker, though, that's a marathon. It needs pacing, it needs balance, and you've got to save enough in the tank for a really strong finish. Now, what happens if you try and sprint a marathon? You burn out. And if you try to jog a sprint, you're going to lose. So, let's start with the first race. Let's break down the exact blueprint for the 6-mark sprint. The beautiful thing about the sprint is its simplicity. The rules are all about pure efficiency. Rule 1, no introduction. Rule 3, no conclusion. You just need 2 solid, well-developed peel paragraphs. That's it. For each one, you make your point, you back it up with evidence, you explain it, and then you link it back to the question. Simple. All right, let's put it into practice. Let's take this really typical question about urbanization challenges in Rio. It's for 6 marks. Now watch how fast we can take this thing apart. So you're in the exam and your mind goes blank. You need a tool. We're gonna use the SPEED acronym to just instantly pull ideas out of thin air. You just think, S, social, how are people affected? E, economic, what's the deal with money and jobs? E, environmental, what's the impact on the planet? And D, demographic, how is the population changing? For this Rio question, we can immediately pull out 2 great ideas, one social, one economic. Okay, let's build paragraph 1. We'll go with the social challenge. Our point is the growth of squatter settlements. Our evidence, and you've got to be specific, is the Roshina favelas. And here's the really important part, the explain. Why is it a challenge? Well, that crazy population density leads to the rapid spread of disease, which puts enormous pressure on healthcare. Point, evidence, explain. Done. Now let's do our second peel paragraph, the economic challenge. We had our point again, the massive number of informal jobs. The evidence for that, the government gets 0 tax revenue from all that work. And the explanation, this is what traps people in a cycle of poverty because there's just no money to invest in services or infrastructure. Simple, powerful, straight to the point. And that's it. Do you see that? 2 really detailed points, 0 waffle, 0 wasted time. The sprint is over, it took you maybe 6 or 7 minutes, and you've just bagged full marks. Okay, take a deep breath, because now we're heading into the marathon. This is it. This is where the top grades are really won or lost. The 9-marker is a completely different game, which means we need a whole new set of rules. So for the marathon, the rules totally change. You do need a brief introduction. You absolutely must have balance. So if the question is something like, is aid the best way to reduce the development gap? You need paragraphs arguing for aid and paragraphs arguing against it. And finally, you need what I call the secret weapon, the Foresight conclusion. I need you to pay really close attention now. I'm serious. What I'm about to tell you is literally the difference between a grade 7 and a grade 9. After you've built your balanced paragraphs arguing both sides, most students will just write a boring little summary. You are not going to do that. So here it is, the secret weapon. It's called a Foresight conclusion. A Foresight conclusion doesn't just look backwards and repeat what you've already written. No, it looks forward. It looks to the future. It proposes a professional, really thoughtful, geographical solution to the problem. And this is just a perfect example. Look at that wording. Instead of that boring old, in conclusion, there are good points and bad points, it says, looking forward, for aid to be truly effective, the focus must shift. Do you feel the power in that phrasing? It's a game changer. The difference this makes is just huge. You're not just a student repeating some facts you memorized. You are now acting like a real geographer, critically thinking about the situation and proposing a real, forward-thinking solution. This is exactly what examiners are looking for to award those top marks. Okay, I know that was a lot to take in. And look, you can't just watch this once and then magically remember it all under intense exam pressure. You need this system right there in front of you when you revise, so it just becomes second nature. So here's the whole blueprint in one simple table. For the 6-marker sprint, it's a no for the intro and conclusion, and 2 peel paragraphs. For the 9-marker marathon, it's a yes to the intro, balanced peels for and against, and an absolutely definite yes to that powerful Foresight conclusion. And to make this even easier, I've taken this entire blueprint and I've put it all into a single, super clear cheat sheet that you can download and use. So it's time to stop freestyling. Click the link down in the description right now, get the free blueprint infographic, stick it on your wall, and you will walk into your next exam with total, complete confidence.